Now, it is time to move on to the green zone. Ah yes, beautiful. So yes, this is the best of the season, and once again we have 5 shows. The most out of any of the 4 zones, which is always good to hear. So let's start with the first one. I'm gonna butcher this name so bad. Demi-chan wa Katari Tai? Yeah, that's how you say that. Yeah, that show. I'm sorry for butchering these names. I'm very bad at this. So this show is very, sort of like an alternative reality where we have these, you know, sort of monsters or demons that live among us. Basically sort of like a metaphor for minorities. But yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot. It's definitely going to be the cute, heartwarming show of this season. Just like Poco's Udon World and Sweetness and Lightning from last year. It's just a really cute show in general. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it, and it's just one of those chill shows that you can just sit back and enjoy and be like, oh, so cute. So our next show is Yojo Senki, made by a new studio that just came out. So that's very intriguing. So it looks like this studio is making anime that will put some competition on Kota Hirano because, wow, this really reminds me of Drifters in Hellsing, I gotta say. You got some really ridiculous badassness and more badassness and just more and more tomfoolery and badassness. But this time it's a 9-year-old girl who is our main protagonist. Japan. Anyway, it's a very interesting show. If you like Drifters, if you like Hellsing, yeah, this is a show for you. So now we're gonna get into our top 3 of this anime season. And when I say top 3, I don't mean the best, obviously, because, you know, they just started. But it's more like the top 3 with the most potential to be probably the best anime of the season. So we're gonna put in our 3rd spot Konosuba 2, because, you know, it's Konosuba. Now the only reason this is the only sequel on here is because all of the other sequels are shows that I haven't watched yet or dropped at some point. Rewrite. I'm not really watching any of the other sequels other than this one. So I'm just kind of putting it in here anyway because I'm watching it. It's literally just a continuation from where we left off from the first season. It's just as great as it always has been. Konosuba 2. If you like Konosuba, man, you're gonna like this, bro. Now we go to number 2. These top 2 are actually both probably gonna be the best of the season, and they're both very close, so it's hard for me to choose between the 2 which one should be the top 1. But in the end, I put Kuzu no Honkai. I think I said that right. And the number 2 spot. Now this is a romance slice of life anime, but it is nowhere near as comedic as most of the other ones that we usually see. It's much more serious. There is humor still, of course, but from the get-go, it just felt much more mature and serious than most, if not all, other romance anime. I mean, Clannad gets pretty mature, and so does Nagi no Sakara, which are also very good romance. But just, even with Clannad and Nagi no Sakara, initially the characters are more or less immature and, you know, typical anime characters. Well, not anime characters, but, you know, because acting their age. Because, you know, all anime characters are pretty young. From the get-go, these protagonists feel very mature and pretty serious. Even though they are also high school age, they're still very serious about it. And yeah, there's some humor in there, of course. And obviously they are still going through puberty, so they have to develop. But the show takes itself much more seriously, and it really shows. It just feels like it's more of an adult topic, if that makes sense. Which most anime seems to not do, because it tends to go with the age of the protagonist. But I really like that. I think it's a change in what we usually get, and I think it's really cool. I love the directing style. There's some choices in there that just are really cool, and it really works really well. And the characters are fantastic. The main protagonist reminds me very much of Muna from Nagi no Sakara, not just because she looks like her, but also because she's very, very mature. And she also seems like she's going to be a pretty well-developed character, just like Muna was. Unfortunately, I've only seen 1 episode of this so far, so just based on the first episode, it seems like it's going to be really, really good. But now let's go to the show that has the most potential, emphasis on potential, to be the best anime of the season. And that, my friends, is a show called Masamune-kun no Revenge. Now, Gabriel, you just told us about how you loved the number 2 pick, Kuzu no Honkai, because of how it's different, because it's more serious and more mature. What the fuck, man? Yes, I understand your concerns, random non-existent fan, but let me explain. This show is fantastic. from the get-go. I haven't enjoyed a first episode of a show like this in a very long time. It just grabbed me, it hooked me. Like, the pacing is fantastic, the characters are great, it's very well written. It just, from the get-go, you just are invested in the story, and I've really enjoyed the show so far in the first 2 episodes. In fact, I've already rewatched them to show them to my roommate because it's so good. And I think one of the biggest things that this show has that is very, very rare in the romance genre in anime is a male protagonist who's not the "I'm a nice guy" male protagonist. You know, the ones that are so passive and don't do shit and are just nice guys and that's it, and that's their only character personality. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's really annoying. I'm so glad that this show actually takes the effort to make our male protagonist an asshole, because he is, and it's fantastic. And I'm sure he's gonna develop, obviously, and become a better person as it goes along, but I'm glad that we actually have a male protagonist who's not just another nice guy for the romance genre. But even then, just in general, the show is fantastic. Everyone is an asshole in this show, and it's so good. It reminds me quite a bit, actually, of Golden Time. It's very similar, just except for the fact that it actually has a pretty cool male protagonist. But yeah, this show, oof, I think this show is going to be the best show of the season. Hopefully I don't regret saying that, but you know, I have confidence in this show. Hopefully I didn't hype it up too much for you guys, because now you guys might expect too much and now it might not be as good, but whatever. But yeah, that is my top pick for having the most potential to be the best anime of the season. So we'll see how it goes, guys. I'm looking forward to this season. But a lot of people were saying this season isn't going to be that great, but honestly, I think this season has a lot of potential, and I think there's some good shows that are very enjoyable. Hopefully I'll be posting more smaller videos throughout the season or whatever, or just random stuff that I feel like doing. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. So until I post up some more stuff, you guys can just watch some of my other stuff, some of my AMVs or reaction videos. All of that is posted in a link in the description below. Until the next video, guys, I'll see you guys later. Keep on watching your anime, because I definitely will be. See you guys later. SanChan out.